All right, guys, thanks for joining me. This is Melissa, and I am actually going to really try to edit this video this time. I've been just throwing things out on YouTube. I haven't really tried that hard, so I am going to try to take my editing a little more serious. So what's going on in the pro-life movement? So we've seen the pro-life march. I've been watching, different clips of that, which has been amazing. The biggest pro-life movement ever in history after the pro-life, the Roe v. Wade decision was made in June of last year to end Roe v. Wade. So this has been extremely exciting for the pro-life movement, and at the same time we've had people in the liberal news trying to knock that progress down as expected. And we even had the vice president talk about the Declaration of Independence without even mentioning the right to life. So we see the trickery, the twisting of what they're really trying to do. We see the agenda. I actually saw too, I saw a video recently on Instagram. I follow a lot of the ladies. We're kind of all in this together, I feel we are. And I saw a video of this, this lady had this video on Instagram of a woman actually doing an abortion at home. She set up a sanctuary, she set up an area to make it look like this was a sacred time where she was actually killing her baby with the abortion pill, but she set up her room like this celebration place and talks about where to leave your baby after. This is really getting satanic. The last few years have been awful in the abortion movement. It's sickening. We have a president who's fighting for women to kill. Eventually I think what's going to happen is women are going to get what they want and they will be able to kill. We're already seeing babies being born alive and they have not received the health care that they're supposed to have. We say that they're getting health care if they survived an abortion, but they're not. There were a couple twins on Instagram I saw that did not receive the health care. We've already known about this for a while, that the doctors will snip the back of the necks of babies when they're born if they're not wanted. On and on it goes. So I think what's going to happen is it's probably going to be government mandated eventually. I think women will no longer be allowed to have children. That right will be taken away, and we will be seeing women crying for their babies, wanting children, and the government, much like China, trying to restrict birth. So we have the people, at the World Economic Forum who are trying to get people to eat bugs to reduce the carbon print in society while they fly their big jets. We're seeing a real twist lately, a big turn downward for America. And as I watched Donald Trump Jr. the other night, him and his wife talked about what's going on, things that we don't see. The little guy doesn't always see this. The people at the top know, but the little guy, we're not always paying attention to what's going on. So this is really scary. I think we need to start standing up. We need to start pushing back. I've always been one who has pushed back. When somebody has pushed me, I've always pushed back. I think that it's time to push back our beliefs. So kind of where I think I want to go now is I'm working on the editing. I want to get out there more, be able to help women. If you follow me on Instagram, I have a lot of shorts too that I will be putting out here in between my videos. But if you follow me on Instagram, I'm talking about motherhood. I'm talking about different ways to save money. I'm talking about different things you can do, how to enjoy your children. It's just your time. That's it. It's just your time. Like today, I posted something on Instagram on how my son brought a new sleeping bag, and his old sleeping bag I will keep, the zipper's missing. And then we talked about where his other sleeping bag went, and he had lost it when we were in a hotel. He had lost it, and he has a record of everything. I mean, he keeps pictures of everything, so he has a clear record of everything in his life, which is really cool. And I've always tried to keep records in my life, but if you just work off the little things in life, you can really create a very rich, pleasant life. It's not about money, it's about your time and your ways you take care of your children. So, for example, last night my son had wanted to go out for a ride, and I went out with him. We did nothing really. We just went over to the store, and I didn't really have much I had to get. I just hung out with my son. So it's those little things in life that can really mean a lot. I think parenting is not just quality. I think it's also quantity. I think both of those go together. I don't think you can have one without the other. Let's see, what else? I have this stuff on my channel. Oh, recently I've talked about on Instagram how important it is to have other women in your life. You cannot do motherhood by yourself, and you should not. You should always have other women in your life that you are learning from as you teach younger women, so that generational teaching will go on and on. And this is the way it's set up in the Bible. It's nothing new. In the Bible, it talks about the older women are supposed to be teaching the younger women. I've talked about my mentors. I've talked about when I became a Christian. I had mentorship from a well-renowned woman. I didn't know who she was. We, went walking. We talked about God a lot. She had 5 kids. She was a role model to me. Then I had another lady who was very good financially, and she taught me a lot. Then I had another lady who was really good with the family and the home births, and she helped me. And just, on and on it goes. I've always been around the older women, picking things up from them. So now I'm in a Bible study with some really wise older women. I mean, really wise. And it's funny because, when we're young, we want beauty, and we usually want marriage. We want to find that partner that we want. As you get older and your body starts fading away, you want the wisdom. And that's usually what you see in the older woman. You usually see their ways a little bit more, and how they live. And it's just amazing to have a group of women around me right now who really are teaching me not only stuff in the Bible, but stuff with marriage, stuff with your children, dealing with things, and they're still learning and I'm still learning. So when you take away motherhood, what you're going to do is be taking away so many opportunities in your life to have joy. You're actually, like, at my age now, if I did not have kids, what would I be doing? Obviously, if I had chosen a career, I would probably still be in that, but at the same time, with the whole world shutting down, I probably would have had to change careers. Who knows? But what do you have later on when you get older? You will have nothing if you don't have kids. You really will. I mean, you can be content with who you are. You can work on self-development, as I do. You can have friends, but you are missing a huge part, a whole nother half of life. Most of my time when I was younger was given to my family. It wasn't given to a lot of friends. It wasn't given to a lot of people. I didn't water myself down too much when I met people at church or met people when I was out. It was fine, but it wasn't a real time-consuming thing because I had my family to take care of. And the same thing, I think, years ago when you watch some of these older movies, the women tend to be very busy with their own family, as the other women are very busy with their own families. And it takes years and years of kind of having that community of friendship to really dig in later on when you have more time, and then you can give more to those friendships. You can give much more. I can give more now to people than I could before. So it's a long process. For me, it's longer than most people because I had my kids 12 and a half years apart. So I've been doing this for about 30 years now, and I still have one minor. So 31 years of child training and development is what I have under my belt. And as you get older, the more you see, the more you understand, the more better you are at it. So looking back now, if I would not at the beginning when I was younger, at age 21, 22, if I would not have had my kids and had them all at once, 3 of them all together, and then 2 later on, a huge part of my life would be missing. I think if I didn't have kids, probably my husband and I would have been pretty idle. We probably would have been, I think, a little more worldly. I think maybe the drinking and the going out and stuff would have been more a part of our life. I don't know. When you become a Christian, which I did before I became a mother, your life is more purposeful. You have more direction. So that's what I got for now, girls. I'm kind of just, talking about things that I have done and seen recently. And without my kids, I mean, people talk about the negative all the time. They're like, oh, kids cost so much money or whatever, and it's such a negative view. Kids actually add to your life. When you get older, they are there in your life and they bring you joy. They should bring you joy. Not that they are, all your joy, but they should bring you joy. And you have so many memories to look back at. My cup is truly full. I have so many memories in my life, so much good. So I'll probably be talking about the details a little bit more of mothering. We want hearts to change. We want mothers to want to have their children. We can have the laws, which we should, and we should even have laws of women going to jail for abortion, because now we do know what it is. But even more important, we want the heart. We want mothers to want to have children. And if you don't want children when you're pregnant, and you've made that choice to have sex, you're going to have to turn your heart around, because you've already made some decisions in your life. You don't have a right to take a life. And we need to stop abortion, and we need to start teaching mothers all the gems, all the fun that they can have with their children. And so, my son right now is home alone with me, and we've been hanging out, and he has needed some help with car repair stuff. I'm working on that with him. I'm getting in there and I'm teaching him about what he does need to get done. So it's just the little things that really make life important. And one day he'll grow up and he'll remember that mom was there when he had, needed some help with extra help with, car information. So that's what I've got for now, ladies. And please do not sell yourself short. Do not have children. It's one of the biggest things in life, one of the biggest blessings that you could ever have.